All right, hey guys, OFD checking in here, and today we have another Casio under the camera. So this is what happens when you go perusing Amazon late at night looking at Casio watches. I found this one. I've never seen it before. I'm pretty sure this watch has been around for a while, but it was a newer one to me, and I really liked a lot of the features on this. I always say that when I buy a Casio watch because they have so many cool features on it. So this is in their what they're calling their sports gear series in this atomic timekeeping Waveceptor. So I didn't realize that they were using the atomic timekeeping modules in their Illuminator kind of series watches, which are usually they're not in the G-Shock price range. This one was about $40 to $45, so I guess kind of at that entry level G-Shock Square kind of price range. But I think there's a lot more going on with this watch. So you can see down there on the back of the box, that is a reference number for this watch, the WV-200R. I believe that 5ACF is referring to the color combination with this particular watch. So that being said, I'll go ahead and bring it up here on the stand. We'll take a quick look at it now. This is what, if you went to the store to buy it, you'd see it on this stand, probably in the display case. So here's what it's got on here. Radio controlled atomic timekeeping, 200 meters water resistant. That was one of the real things that jumped out to me, is basically when you got 200 meters water resistant, it's pretty much a do anything watch. Surfing, diving, even scuba, you can do that. So a little bit with this watch. I wouldn't go too deep with it, but 200 meters, it's going to get anything done. So go ahead and pull it off the stand and let's take a look at it. Now, the looks on this watch are awesome. And as a matter of fact, I need to grab my caliper here in a second. I'll get you kind of an overall case dimensions on this. It's not a small watch, so it wears very well on the wrist, wears very much like a G-Shock on the wrist. But one of the things that really stood out to me when I looked at this watch was this metal here on the top of the watch. Now, this is actually, I'm not really sure, it appears to be stainless steel, and it's really nicely done because, as you can see, underneath this plastic bezel here on top, the Waveceptor bezel, I'll call it, that's screwed down, you have the brushing here along the top, and that's really nicely done, and it contrasts with polishing along the side. Now, this is just on the top half of the watch here, but it is a nice touch to it. The crystal is protected by this plastic bezel that's screwed on here, where you do have the instructions, for your light, your receiving. This is if you're going to do manual receiving of the watch. It is set up for automatic timekeeping. So in the manual, which I do have down here, we'll look a little bit at that. It tells you at what times this thing will actually do its automatic radio controlled timekeeping. So very nice watch. Like I said, clean layout on the watch. You have the day of the week up there at the top. Over here on the side above in this little window, that lets you know whether or not your alarm is set or your signal is set up, and I'll show you how that works. In the center here, you have your date and your day and your year, which is very nice. This little disc over here where you have the 3 dark lines in the middle, that's for the indicator for the atomic timekeeping. As you guys can see here, the receiving indicator. When you have 3 full like that, where you can see that all 3 of those are filled up, that means it's getting really good receiving. So where I happen to be, it's receiving the signal quite well. And of course, your normal timekeeping down here. So daylight savings time also is highlighted down here on that little bar just above the timekeeping. So lots of good information just there on the main screen. Scrolling through it, you have a world time, so you can have this set for another time zone. I have it set for New York City. LAX is for my main city. Timer here, this one's set for 10 minutes. You can use the adjust button up here by holding it down to adjust that to the time that you want to keep track of. So if you're timing something, an event, cooking, sprinklers, something like that, you can set your 10 minutes, walk away, and then alarm will chime for you, let you know. Stopwatch here, very simple, easy to use, as you guys can see there. Stop, start, reset here. We also have our alarm set here. Now I'll show you how you set the alarm. Now I have it set for 5:30 a.m. If it was p.m., you'd see the little p.m. indicator over there. But as you can see up here in this top window, right here above the receiving disc, you'll see I can push it once, that sets the alarm. Push it twice, that lets you the signal go. So that's every hour, it'll chime for you on the hour. And then if you push it one more time, you can see the alarm and the signal are both on. One more time shuts everything off. So go ahead and go back, and then there's our main time there. So very nice watch for the price. The band is typical Casio, nothing fancy going on here. I'm not quite sure, but I'm sure that I know a lot of companies like Barton and everyone else are making the adapters for these, for a lot of the Casios out there. So it's probably that 16 millimeters, so you could probably use the adapters and put this on a NATO strap. I'm not quite sure, but I pretty much think you could do that. So let me go ahead and pause it for a second. I'll get this one on my wrist, and I'll also give you the dimensions of the case of this watch. All right, so here you can see the watch on my 7-inch wrist. It is a big watch. It's a 47 from side to side here on the case. That's with pushers and everything like that. And where the watch starts to dive down for the strap here is about 52. So it's a good size watch, 14.5 millimeters thick. And, you know, of course, you've got this protection of the crystal there, so that's sticking up quite a bit. But, of course, lightweight. It does feel a little heftier, and I think that's based on this little piece of stainless steel here over it, but it's a really, really good looking timepiece overall. I'm really happy with it for about $45. Cool watch to add to the collection, to the Casio collection. Like my wife says, there's Casios all over the place. She goes, you might have too many Casios, but I don't think that's actually possible. But I'll dim the lights here really, really quick, and I'll show you that illuminator light on this. Nothing super impressive, but it does get the job done. All right, so here we go. Bright as can be, as you guys would expect from the Illuminator series. We'll go ahead and pull up the lights again here really quick, and I'll show you the little map that shows you how the radio-controlled atomic timekeeping, or where it's coming from in different parts of the world. So this is kind of cool. This shows you, this is in the manual, and it shows you kind of where the signals are coming from. So if you're in the United States, it's in Fort Collins. So basically up into Canada, down into Mexico, you're going to get that signal, no problem. There's going to be some outliers probably. Now, UK German signals are here, so you can see that's covering most of the UK and the European states over there. And then, of course, you've got the Japan signal. So that's pretty cool little addition here, and it goes through the times and the frequencies and everything like that in the manual. So if you guys are interested in that, it is all in the manual. So really cool piece. I'm super happy with this one. And again, the reference number here, I'll leave a link to Amazon for the product if you guys are interested, but there's your reference number. But cool looking new Casio added to the collection. You guys like the video, give me a thumbs up down there at the bottom. And if you've not subscribed to the OFD channel yet, please do. Please do. Thanks, guys.